I know that some of you guys are getting ready for final exams for your physics class, and you might have one coming up in a few weeks. And so I created a review guide, a free review guide for you, in case you might find it helpful to kind of organize your equations and the concepts to study for your course. And so these are organized by topics that you might see in a first semester physics course. So the first section I have here are math for physics, so such as some basic trig ratios. And then we move into kinematics, average velocity. What is that? What are the kinematic equations, which you use a lot for these type of problems? How do you select which equation to use? So here I have a kinematics equation chart, and you'll notice that some of these are hyperlinked, and so which means that if you uh, click on these links here, it'll take you to the video that I created for each of these to go more in depth. You don't have to use those videos. It's just there in case you find it's for your convenience, if you find it helpful. Just having the study guide, the text on the study guide is good enough for you, then go ahead and just use that. So I just want to give you a little preview. So in kinematics, we're dealing with motion graphs, free fall, projectile motion, and I also include some problem solving tips in here to help you solve those problems. Then we move into dynamics, which deals with forces and Newton's laws. We'll look at what is equilibrium, what are some common types of forces, how pulleys work, and force problem solving tips. Then we go into circular motion. What's the difference between centripetal acceleration and centripetal force, and some common scenarios dealing with uniform circular motion and non-uniform circular motion, and then some tips on how to solve those problems. Then we move into gravitation, where the equations for Newton's law of gravitation, how do you calculate gravitational field, what's the difference between gravitational mass and inertial mass, and how do you calculate orbital motion for speed and period, and some tips for solving those problems. Then we move into work, energy, power, and here are the equations that you might see for that unit. What is work? When is energy conserved? What's the equation for power? What's the work energy theorem? Then we move into momentum. What is momentum and impulse? What's the impulse momentum theorem? When is momentum conserved? What are the different types of collisions? How do you calculate center of mass? And some tips on how to solve those problems. So those are the topics that are covered in this review guide. If you think this might be useful for you, you can check out the link in the descriptions. Thanks.